Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. Today's video isn't exactly like a video that I usually do. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, and in a past video I had mentioned my past guinea pig Charlie, who I had neutered, and I kind of went back and forth about posting this video, and it's been a while. I will put the date on the screen of when I actually edited this video. I'll also put the date of when I lost him so you guys can see that from the date that I lost him, it took me a while to do the actual video, and then it took me a while to decide if I was going to post it or not. I decided to post it because I basically wanted to share kind of my experience with neutering a male guinea pig and all of that. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good one, and I wish that I could take it back, and if I had known the outcome, I would have honestly never gotten him neutered, but I wanted to keep him, so we decided to get him neutered so he can go with the girls. But anyways, we're gonna get into that story, and I don't want to make this long. I just wanted to tell you why it took me a little bit, and it's just mostly that it really hit me hard. He was a really special guinea pig, and I also wasn't really sure I wanted to post this video, and I don't even know if any of you guys are really gonna watch the whole thing because it's just a story time of like me. I'm gonna add some clips in there of him, but yeah, it was a really sad experience for me, and I get emotional telling the story, so it's not something I usually post, but I will do it anyways. And yeah, so let's just play the video. So I decided that he was going to be mine, and I was going to get him neutered because I thought it would be awesome to have like one male pig and all of my ladies in together. I was really excited to have like Charlie and his angels, and that's kind of what I dubbed it, and it was such a great like dream, and honestly like something that I was hoping would work out. But basically we got him neutered on September 6th, and about a month later my vet suggested waiting a month before I put him in with the girls, because I guess there's been studies that have shown that he has the ability to mate up to a month after the surgery. So I decided to wait a month. And about a month hits, and I was, you know, checking him pretty daily. I mean, he was such a sweet pig. He wanted love and attention, and I was very happy to give that to him. It was almost about a month. I was really excited. I'm like, oh, I can finally get him to be bonded with his girls. I was just so excited about it. So basically, I had felt that he had some growths. One of them was basically the size that was originally there. It's like it rejuvenated. It was bigger than an almond, kind of like an egg shape, I guess, but not as big as an egg. It wasn't like abnormally enlarged or anything. And then the other side was just a tiny little maybe pea size, but I could feel like there was like little growths, and I was like, what is this? I contacted my vet right away. I actually took some pictures, and I sent him pictures, and he had said that he thinks it's an infection, and everything on the outside looked good, like there was nothing to be worried about. But we started him on some antibiotics, and he told me to give it, you know, 12 to 14 days, and we'll go from there. I gave it, you know, 10 days, and it just still was the same size. So I made an appointment to come in, and I went in, and 2 weeks of the antibiotic didn't do anything. It was still the same size. So I went back to the vet. He took a syringe and sucked out some of the stuff, and it definitely was an infection. How he explained it is it's like an encased infection or an encased abscess, so the walls around are really thick. He went on and did some research and found out that it's actually pretty common with neuters. It's a reaction to the sutures, I guess, and he thinks that maybe that's why a lot of male pigs just don't do well with their neuters. And not that they're not successful, because I'm sure there's plenty that are. I guess it's pretty common that they don't do that well. He did find a different version, a different type of antibiotic for us to try. So we were going on 2 weeks of that, and then going from there. Again, it didn't help. The antibiotic did not help at all, and this is the second one that we tried. And honestly, I was a little freaked out because at that point, he was starting to show signs and symptoms, like in his demeanor and how he was eating and things. Before that, for like the whole month of like the antibiotics, he really wasn't showing any signs of anything. Like he was acting normal, eating, he was keeping his weight up, he was doing really, really well. But towards the end of that month of the antibiotics, he just wasn't doing well. So I had told my vet, and he said, all right, well, let's schedule us to kind of go back in and take out these encased abscesses. That's what we did. They went back in, and he took out the abscesses, and he was feeling around, and he felt like up in his abdomen, and he felt up in his abdomen and found like a few more, and it was just weird to him. I didn't think I would like get so upset. But yeah, they found some more up in his abdomen. So the surgery that they did that time, I mean, obviously he was going back in again. So he was going under anesthesia for a second time. And also, it was more invasive. Like they had to go up into his abdomen and things. And he obviously wasn't feeling well to begin with. So it was really important. My vet was saying that he even survived the like 24 hours after surgery. And so that week, I spent every single like couple of hours just syringe feeding him critical care. I spent that week just every night being up all night and every few hours giving him some critical care and just giving him like every single tender loving care that I could. I tried really, really hard. He was on a few different medications, obviously pain meds. He was still on antibiotics, and yeah, it was crazy. He was pretty much with me all the whole week straight. And at one point, his incision opened up, which they didn't use sutures, they used glue, because obviously we felt that his reaction that he had was because of the sutures. So they used glue, and it opened up, and a little part of him was like, my vet said scar tissue basically was like hanging out. So I had to bring him back another time, and luckily he didn't have to go under anesthesia. They just kind of cleaned it up and put staples on that. I was only on one side. And that following Sunday we actually like went out and did something, which was like the first hour even I had spent without being like side by side with him. And he took all of his staples out. Yep, he took all of them out except for one. But he was fine. His incision had healed up, and that week was like so scary, but he was making progress. And then that second week after surgery, he did truly amazing. He was making such great progress. He like was still really skinny and like had lost weight, but he was doing so well. He was eating everything like a champ. He was just doing so good. So on Saturday, I had finally basically what I did was I had set the cage up, which maybe I can insert a clip here. I'm not sure if I still have it, but I set his cage up so it was like a square inside the female's cage, because I noticed one time when I put him in there when I was giving them veggies, he like went to town and was like eating his veggies so much more, and I felt like he was just so happy to be around the girls. So I set his cage up kind of inside their giant cage, and it worked out really well. He was happy, and he was just doing so well. So on Saturday, with my vet's permission, because of him doing so well, I was able to bond him in with the girls, and I was so excited. So he was there Saturday and Sunday with the girls, and they were doing so well. And I basically every single night, I had my webcam up. And so I would be sleeping and I'd have my webcam up, and I wake up a bunch during the night and I would look at the camera and see where he was, and he was always at different positions of the cage. So it's not like he was just like chilling. But Saturday night we went to a movie, and I came home at 11:40. I was giving them their veggies. He was doing great. That's almost midnight. Multiple times throughout the night, I was looking on my camera, and he was doing well. I probably checked around like 6:30. This was Monday morning, and I had that off because it was Veterans Day. And I looked again at like 8:30, and I found him like on his side, just like flat. And it reminded me of like when I found Layla passing away, and he was just such a special boy. I ran down there and I grabbed him, and he was a little cold, and I was just like worried. So I knew at that point, like I just knew he was passing away. And it was such a shock because of, I'm not kidding you, like how well he was doing. I just don't understand. So I brought him by like my pellet stove and warmed him up and called my vet, and they were like, just bring him in, hurry up, like bring him in. And luckily, like they're really great about that, but unfortunately they're a little over an hour away, and I didn't even think honestly that he would survive the ride there. I drove very unsafely. I had him wrapped in a blanket like right next to me, and my arm was like with him the whole time because I just didn't want him to like go alone. Got to the vet, and at that point he was not doing okay, and so we just kind of helped him across the bridge, and he is now gone, and it stinks. I loved him a lot, and I only got to have him for a very short period of time. We did an ultrasound to check him out and to see if there was really any like reason why, and honestly we couldn't find any reason. He was good, like everything looked good. There was no blockage, like everything. He wasn't bloated, he didn't look like he had any like infection, like those little abscesses anywhere. His incisions looked great. Yeah, I don't really know why. What I want you guys to kind of take out of this is, if you have a male guinea pig and you are thinking about getting them neutered, I don't think it's a bad idea, and I'm not saying don't do it, but maybe try to see if your vet would be open to, instead of using sutures, like use staples, or maybe use some glue. Just maybe try that instead of going the route of the sutures. That's really what I want you to take out of this, because I feel like if we didn't do the sutures, he would have never had this infection. And who am I? I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, but I just want you guys to kind of put that into your mind, as far as take that from my experience and maybe just see if there is another way of going about it. I'm not saying don't neuter your pigs, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am asking you is just, like I said, to take that into, you know, your perspective and think about that, and maybe just see if your vet would be open for it. And I wish that that's something that we had done. And I'm really sad. As you can tell, I can't tell you how important he was to me, and I miss him a lot already. And that's Charlie's story. And like I said, I hope that it helps you guys, and I hope that it's something that you guys kind of can take from my experience and learn. And if you guys survive this really long video, I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of your love and support, so thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video.